Hi, Shalom. This is G Checker coming with a new video to put these British racist fake Israelites in their place. And they seem to cleave to Shield Squad and SOG. And I say cleave because that's what the heathen are supposed to do. They're supposed to cleave to Israel. And there is a remnant of Israel in Shield Squad. That's why I use the word cleave. But those assailants of the British Israelite community, they have no kahunas. All they want to do is type on their keyboards, and the only noise that they're making is from the clickety clack that they hear from when they type on their keyboards. They literally make no videos. They're cowards. They don't want their voice to be heard. They don't want their doctrine to be analyzed, and all they want to do is surf and troll around in message boards. But I tell you what, now I'm doing a response video. I said I was going to break down your Edomite existence in less than 7 minutes. So let's get started. Where did the white race come from? I'm gonna just go straight there. They come from Gehazi, the first recorded white person. All right, when you go to 2 Kings 5:27, the leprosy therefore of Nahum shall cleave unto thee and unto thy seed forever. And he went out from his presence a leper as white as snow. And this is talking about Gehazi. This is that same leprosy that Miriam had, that Moses was praying for, to take that leprosy off, because that white skin is a curse. It shows that you are unclean, or that you were unclean at one point in time. And when you read through these different verses about lepers, what do you see? 2 Kings 7:8. And these lepers came to the uttermost part of the camp. They went into one tent and did eat and drink and carried thence silver and gold and raiment and went and hid it. So there were thieves then, just like Gehazi was a thing, just like those British Israelite, fake Israelites, those British Edomites are trying to steal the heritage of Jacob and Israel. As Israelites, we don't have to worry about it, because the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac is not going to let it happen, and we're steadily waking up. And how do we know that this leprosy was something that you could live on? Because Gehazi had leprosy, and it was going to be on his seed for forever. So that means it wasn't going to go away. His seed were going to be wiped throughout the end of time. And let's look at Luke 17:19. This was common, and it came to pass as he went into Jerusalem that he passed through the midst of Samaria and Galilee, and this is in Jerusalem. And as he entered into a certain village, there met him 10 men that were lepers. So that lets you know that those lepers were common at that time when Jesus was walking the earth. Those lepers were around there, okay? They were lepers. And one sign of leprosy is to have blonde hair. Okay, so there's no refuting it. Okay, so when was 2 Kings 4 and 5 written? Let's go through the biblical timeline. All right, if you look right here, Elijah, all right, this is around between 1000 and 750 BC. Okay, now you're going to see this common theme that these Edomites, or these pale white people, they didn't come into existence until then, because we're going to look for Persians, we're going to look for Greeks, we're going to look for Romans that existed before 1000 BC. And let's see if we can find them. And I challenge any of you British Israelites, fake Israelites, you British want to cleave to the Israelites, I challenge you to bring any proof, portraits, evidence, facial features, anything that shows that you were around before 1000 BC. You can't twist the Bible up, so I'm not going to let it happen. I'll go through all those little bogus responses that you did in the chat section. I'll go through that later. But right now, I'm breaking you down in 7 minutes or less. Okay, let's go to another timeline. All right, Elijah and Elisha. Okay, this was around 900 BC. Okay, let's go to the next timeline. 2 Kings 4 was written in 849 BC. So now it's strange that you're about to see that these Roman empires didn't exist before 800 BC. Let's see. All right. Argius the first of Macedonia. Macedonia is Greek, okay? And as you see, he reigned from 498 BC to 454 BC. That's well before 800 BC. I mean, well after 800 BC, and that shows you that these guys had to they had to become a nation because they were thieves. That's the only way they could survive. So they had to group up and create nations. Okay, let's see. Cyrus the Second of Persia. He reigned from 600 BC to 530 BC. All right, before him, they really have nothing before him. Let's see here. As you see right here, predecessor. This was a new office, so there was no kings of Persia before him. Okay. Let's go to Rome. As you see, this is the first Roman office. All right, and this dude Lucius Junius Brutus died the same year that it was that he formed this that he formed this. And you could go to succeeded by, but if you see, there's really nothing on these guys. Okay, he was the first suffect consul of Rome. Okay, who raped by, and this dude was raped. It sounds like, and look, if you see, it all goes back to that Lucius Janus preceded by. So how was he? Let's see. So yeah, so everything was preceded. It started with this guy Lucius. All right, in Rome. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, the Achaemenid Empire, the first Persian Empire, as you see, started in 550 BC. All right, so the theme is that these fake Edomites, those fake Israelites that are white folks, their history started around 5 to 600 BC. You can find no evidence before. I went over my time, but it needed to be said that those white folks there, they started with Gehazi when his seed was cursed forever to be white and pale. Okay, so you British Israelites, you have been debunked by G Checker and those little comments that you left in the comment section. If I get time, I will deal with those later. You're not a priority right now because right now you see that you are irrelevant. We are your fathers. Honor your fathers. You stole from us. You stole from us. You stole from us, and you're still trying to steal from us today. Repent, and maybe that pale skin would be lifted off of you, and then you would become to look like the real Adamite people who are brown skinned. G Checker signing off. Shalom.